Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Better You. My name is Robert Olshetwi, and the hope with this channel is to help you build the positive mindset and acquire the skills needed in order to become the next version of you. Today's topic will be on self-awareness. Self-awareness to me is something that you don't realize you need to work on till later in life, and some damage may have been done depending on how confident of a person you are. And to me, it stems from first when you leave home and start going to school, and all of a sudden you're trying to transition from having your parents' approval, who by default love you and will do anything to make you feel that way, to having to actually prove yourself and fit into a group that has no idea who you are. And at that point, you know, to a lot of us, when we're that early and we have no experience with people, we're trying to gauge if they like us or not, and we're trying to change ourselves based on their input, right? Based on what they think of us. And as you grow up, you realize that, hey, it all emanates from inside. You need to work on yourself and make sure you are the best person you can possibly be. And we're also on our journey, right? We're always trying to work on ourselves to become a better version of who we are. Or at least that's what you should be striving for. But in some cases, when you get put into these groups, the pressure and the nervousness makes you want to do whatever it takes to be accepted. And in my opinion, you need to, as soon as you discover, as soon as you become self-aware, which is our today's topic, you need to get in there and start working on yourself and make sure you genuinely the kind of person you want to be. Right? So what happens is that as we're young people, we start going outside of our homes, and immediately we're thrown into the fire, and we have to become likable. And by the time we realize it, a little bit of time has passed, and now at this point you have built these walls, these guards around yourself that help you protect your insecurities, because you always want to look like like you're in the movies, right? If you ever watch a movie, you know, the main character is always graceful, never makes any mistakes, hair always looks great, you know, they're always smiling, no stress, you know, they're always larger than life, nothing phases them out. And these are the ideas that we have implanted on our heads, and then we go out and we want to look like these people. But in reality, you know, it's never the case. Every person struggles. Every person has hard times and has difficulties dealing with certain things. And for that reason, I feel like this whole thing of always looking confident and being your best self and all this stuff, you know, it takes a little practice. It takes a little time to develop. And you become better and better at it as you practice it more. But at the end of the day, what I'd like to say is you need to peel back these layers that we build around ourselves in order to protect our egos and ourselves, so you can get to the core insecurity. And once you get to the core insecurity, at that point, you can work on it and realize that no one is perfect. We all have flaws. We all have things that we're dealing with. And when you get to that point, you realize that, hey, maybe it is okay that I have some insecurities. It makes me human. It makes me like everyone else. And you start to work on that thing to make it better. We are always improving. That's one of the most amazing things about humans, is that we have the ability to do anything. We have the ability to achieve whatever we aspire to, and we always improve. Always improve if we put our minds to it. We're just truly limitless. So in that realization that we're all the same, we're all human, we're all imperfect, and we have things that we need to work, and we all have things that we need to work on, you start to realize that there's no reason that I need to mask my insecurities. There's no reason that I need to cover up the things that I'm not sure of about myself, and bring that out to light and work on it openly. Because the more you're comfortable with your insecurities and your flaws, the less power they have over you. Because at that point, you know, it's out in the open. This is who I am. This is the stuff I need help with. I'm putting it out there, and I'm willing to work on it. And to me, that's the most admirable thing you could aspire to have, is to be completely okay with the fact that you are not a perfect human being and that you are willing to work on it, because that puts you ahead of whatever that thing is that may have been holding you back, right? And you'll realize, like with anything else, I want you to think about, when first you come out of school and you start working a job. If you're at that stage in your life, in the beginning, there's a lot to learn. It's overwhelming. You don't know what you're gonna do. And a year from then, you look back and you're like, wow, I've come a long way. And especially if you see another person a year later starting in the same spot that you were, and you see how far you've gone. And then, when you advance to the next level, let's say you go from, the employee to a manager, and now you have to do more. And you're like, wow, this is such a big task. But then what happens is that you evolve and you rise to whatever it is that you need to accomplish. You'll be amazed. And at that point, you'll be amazed by how your mind can just evolve and become able to take on that much more overwhelming task compared to what you were doing before. And then when you get to that point and now you've mastered it, now you can move on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. You just grow along the way. And one thing you can always count on is that we never reach a maximum. There is always room for growth. There's so much potential out there, and there's so much potential in you, and it would be a shame to not tap into it, right? I want you to think about your parents and how much work. Think about your mom. She bore you in her belly for 9 months, and then your parents who raised you and took care of you until you became, to whatever stage that you are in life. And to just not tap into your true potential and let that go to waste. Like, imagine how much of a waste and how much of a loss that is, right? So always aspire to be the best you can be. Always aspire to be more. Think about the things that hold you back and figure out what they are and why they're there and deal with them, right? The more free you are, the more you can grow. If you're keeping it all in because you're afraid to show who you truly are, that will really hold you back. Just set yourself free, deal with your insecurities, help others deal with their insecurities. Don't ever judge people. That's one big thing. Don't judge people. Once you've realized that you are not perfect and that you have things to work on, when you see others are struggling, you recognize it. Know that deep inside they're dealing with something. And through you, they'll see that maybe they can liberate themselves like you have, right? And in many ways, they may even look up to you. I've had this happen a lot where, you'll meet somebody that's really cocky and everyone's kind of like, kind of repelled by them. They don't want to deal with them. And I kind of see where they're coming from. I can see that it's just a big cover up because they're really unsure of themselves. And you just accept them for who they are. You let them be the super cool guy or the super cool girl. Let them have the facade that they need to feel safe. And then once they feel like you're not judging them, you'll notice that they dropped up front. And then over the years that they know you, whether they're a coworker or just like a friend that's not super close, somebody that's just in your circles. And then once they realize that, hey, I don't need this front to feel protected. I don't need this front to feel safe. It's okay to have insecurities and it's okay to work on them. Then you've actually helped them become a better person. And we all stand to gain from what that person has to offer, because they're not spending so much time and energy on protecting themselves. Now they're spending that energy and exerting it outwards where it can actually benefit others and help everyone, move forward. One last thing I want to mention is social media. We all love it. I'm on social media right now, but just when you approach social media, approach it with caution, because what people post on social media is highlights of their lives. It's not a reflection of what's happening in their day-to-day all the time. They're not always looking super good, super happy on a beach somewhere, in love with their significant other and never have any problems. That's never true. People post the highlights of their lives because they're trying to celebrate something. And I want you to know that even those people, even if they look like they have a better life than you, that's not really the case. We all have trying times. We all struggle. If you don't struggle, think about it. If you never struggle, you never grow. Struggle and stress are just parts of life for when you're trying to achieve the next level. Anytime life pushes you and tries to put you down, you shouldn't take it that way. Life is actually testing you and letting you know, hey, it's time to advance to the next stage, man or woman up. So don't let that discourage you. If you're going through a tough time and you look on Facebook or Instagram or something like that, and you see that someone else is having a better time than you just during that period of their lives or during that time, it's not a reflection that you have a worse life than them. It's just, we all life is a cycle for all of us, right? We have the good times, then there are tough times, and you just kind of go back and forth. But to me, at the end of the day, like I mentioned in my last video, if you are living a true life that's genuine to you and what you want, over the long term, as you build on this positive mindset and you build on getting in the habit of doing what's right in all aspects of life, you'll notice that overall you'll be very happy with where you end up, because you're going to attract the right people, the right career, the right energy to your life, and that all is going to help propel you forward. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up down below. If you like what I try and do here, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Share this video as it helps us grow and reach out to more people, which is all we really care about. Until the next time, my friends, through your actions, inspire those who are around you.